Welcome back to Midtown, 8th and Joe Louis Plaza, 7th Avenue 2. It all surrounds Madison Square Garden, where tonight the New York Rangers bring in the Calgary Flames in their only visit of the season. Good evening, everybody. Al Troutwig in the Visa MSG studios. To me, this game had danger written all over it. First of all, it's a back-to-back. Second, last night was the real emotional game against the Philadelphia Flyers, which turned into a shootout loss. Now in come the poor Calgary Flames with so many things to worry about. What does Alain Vigneault do? He puts in the backup goalie, Oct.25, giving Henrik Lundqvist the night off, knowing that last time Raanta played, the Rangers played one of their best and most focused games of the year. From where we go to John Giannone and Joe Micheletti. John?
All right, Al, thanks very much. Yeah, this is the third of 17 back-to-backs for the Rangers this season, and after all the intensity and emotion last night in Philly, less than 20 hours later, this is probably a test of fitness and focus for the Rangers.
Yeah, it really is, John. And if you're the opposing coach right now, you're telling, Bob Hartley's telling his team, they played last night. It was emotional, like Al talked about, what you're talking about. Let's go out and get a good start. And so now if you're Alain Vigneault, you're saying, listen, they're going to come at us. Let's make sure that we're ready and focused to go. This is a Calgary Flames team that's disappointed a lot of people in the early going because they had such a wonderful season last year, losing in the second round of the playoffs. They've given up a lot of goals, so the Rangers have to test their goaltender. Their high-scoring defense has been just okay, and they're not getting much balanced scoring up front. So this is a group that sooner or later they're going to break out. They're coming off their best game against Detroit.
For the Rangers, the revamped lines of Alain Vigneault still pretty much a work in progress, but there is one. Oscar Lindberg, Kevin Hayes, JT Miller, they produced a goal last night, and Joe, they produced energy as well.
Yeah, it's a fun line to watch because all three of these players kind of play a similar style. None of them are afraid to go in and be the first man in on the forecheck, so they play with a lot of courage and determination. They can all pass the puck well. They're all very unselfish, and then they can shoot the puck. So, they've got this attitude of let's just go right at them, and who's ever open gets the puck, and when you get it, take the shot. And so they've been together now for a number of games, and they just might be onto something here because you've got a very smart and a good defensive-minded young rookie in Lindberg, and then the other two are just kind of still growing and coming along, and it's really made for a good line, a line they can trust. And it's good to see JT Miller get his first goal of the season, and that will give him even more confidence.
Al mentioned it, Antti Raanta will get his second start as a Ranger in goal, and all he did in his first one was shut out the San Jose Sharks, who were smoking hot at the time. And Ranta's pretty unbelievable when you consider he's played 18 home games in his NHL career and has never lost in regulation.
Play them all. Yeah. Why not? And it's a remarkable statistic, and he's a really good story because this is someone that came in. There was some negative press that he had to deal with in the offseason after being with Chicago last season, but he came in with this wonderful attitude that he was going to try and learn. He was anxious to play with Henrik Lundqvist, knowing that he was going to be the backup, and he was also very excited to work with Benoit Allaire, the Rangers' outstanding goalie coach. And so they've worked on some minor aspects of his game, and what he was so excited about was just that the things that he worked on with Benoit Allaire, they all came to fruition in his first game. He was able to make that first save, which had relaxed him from that point on forward. He looked very, very relaxed and played a terrific game.
The energy in the crowd as the Rangers hit the ice and preparing to face the Calgary Flames, who tonight come in at 2-5, Joe. And this was a team last year that scripted a great story in the regular season, made a run through the playoffs as well that really energized the city of Calgary. But they have struggled, yet they still bring a top-heavy top line and a great defensive core as well. They're part of our scouting report brought to you by your tri-state area Land Rover retailers. Mark Giordano, really, his loss last year for the last 20 games plus the playoffs really impacted the Flames. All 4 of his points this season in the last 2. And Johnny Gaudreau, 6th in the league right now in assists in his second year.
Yeah, the worst thing that the Rangers could do would be to look at their record and read all the press clippings as far as what Calgary has gone through thus far and relax and think this is going to be easy. They're coming off their best game against Detroit. Now with Mark Giordano, before he got hurt last season, he led all defensemen in the NHL in points. He can defend, he can score. As we saw him score this gorgeous goal the other night, their last game against Detroit, they came back. That was the overtime winner. And Johnny Gaudreau, 160 pounds. He's not going to go to the net, is he? He's not going to go to the tough areas, is he? He certainly is. He was third in voting for the Calder Trophy as the league's top rookie. 64 points on the season. He can pass it. He can shoot it. He is one exciting hockey player that you have to keep an eye on.
Gaudreau, Yuri Hudler, Sean Monahan, that's the top line for the Flames. Their defensive core produces so much offense, and there'll be a focus as well on a young defenseman, a man they traded for from the Boston Bruins and a huge deal in the offseason. Huge as in 6'6", Dougie Hamilton. We'll watch him tonight, and we will watch for the Rangers Kevin Klein getting top pair minutes. He'll face that top line of the Flames when they face the Rangers next. Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. Getting set for the opening faceoff between the Flames and the Rangers on a Sunday night. Closed captioning of tonight's game is brought to you by the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. And our Audi goaltender matchup features Antti Raanta. We mentioned it in the open, 15-0-3. His career record at home with a goals against of 1-5-1 and 4 shutouts, one of them being the win last Monday over the San Jose Sharks right here on Garden Ice. And at the other end, the Flames can only hope that Jonas Hiller rediscovers his skill at the age of 33. His goals against 3.31 so far. Kari Ramo has been sent to the minors, so for now, Hiller gets the starting assignment. Matt Zuccarello, part of an opening lineup for the Rangers. Top line versus top line. It'll be Stepan centering Zuccarello and Rick Nash. Sean Monahan centering Yuri Hudler and Johnny Gaudreau. And we are underway. Both teams also coming out with their first pair of defense as well. Mark Giordano and Dennis Weidman for the Flames. Ryan McDonough, Kevin Klein for the Rangers as Klein chases down. He and Gaudreau after it. Icing waved off. There's Gaudreau double team behind Burnett. Battle continues behind the net, and now Derek Stepan picks it up, and Rangers will start out. The lineups brought to you by Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance. Stepan taken down, and he'll draw a penalty here in the opening 36 seconds for the Rangers.
Well, real good recognition by Zuccarello and Stepan looking at each other, and Stepan just decided, I'm going to go straight ahead. It had to be a good pass so there would not be an offside. And so the captain, Mark Giordano, goes. There's the pass just underneath the stick of Giordano. And he gets a stick wrapped around Stepan, and an early power play for the Rangers.
And this power play presented by Volkswagen. Rangers have scored a power play goal in 3 consecutive games. That included Derek Brassard's goal last night in Philadelphia. There's Derek Brassard with the puck. Ryan McDonough on the ice with him as well. And it's Miller, Hayes, and Chris Kreider for the Rangers. Battle behind the net. And here comes Hayes through the neutral zone. Cutting right, holds up, looks for an open man, puts it into open ice for Brassard. Now down the boards past Miller for Hayes.
Yeah, they'll feel a lot of pressure all over the ice, Calgary team, as opposed to last night against Philadelphia when the Rangers got control in the offensive zone. Philadelphia backed off. Calgary will not.
Hayes skates it up to the right half boards. Still holds. Now back pass for McDonough. Left side, Brassard looks to shoot, goes cross ice, and that one goes all the way through. Hayes looks to the heavens. Can't believe he missed the net. That shot sails wide. And it's cleared by the Flames.
Either can I. It almost makes you think that he was thinking maybe pass and wasn't totally committed on taking the shot.
45 seconds remaining as Zuccarello skates through center. Now for Derek Stepan, tries to find Zuccarello. Back to the point it goes. Held in by Boyle. Boyle hands it off for Zuccarello. Heads toward the net, now down low for Rick Nash. Zuccarello to Yandel. Rangers working around the perimeter. Here's Boyle. Backhand behind the net. Nash battles Weidman for it. Up the boards for Zuccarello. Rangers continue to possess inside the zone. Here's Yandel. That shot well wide. The puck was on edge when he shot. Zuccarello kicks it to his stick. Final 5 seconds of the power play. Here's Nash. Drops it off for Yandel. Giordano out of the box. No shots on goal during that power play for the Rangers. Team's back at full strength. Staging battles for it. And then Giordano plays it back to his defense partner, and he will go to the bench for a change. That's Dougie Hamilton, number 27.
Rangers had excellent puck control, good movement. A few of those shots missed the net, which was a problem.
Opportunity here for Gaudreau. What a pass, and they score! Oh, what a terrific no-look behind-the-back pass from Gaudreau to Jiri Hudler. And it's 1-0 Flames.
All that pressure by the Rangers on their power play, and as soon as it ends, you know, this is the chance that Hayes had to make it 1-0. Look at that net. And misses just by a few inches. And then back to even strength. Mark Stahl has it, loses it. Beautiful pass and an easy tap in by Hudler. Johnny Hockey, who's got a whole section or so here watching him tonight. Family, friends, you name it. And a beautiful little pass, and I think we talked about that line in the pregame show, that you better pay attention to that line, and they get the early one.
So 3:06 into play, just as the Flames kill off a power play of the Rangers. They're able to convert, so now Johnny Gaudreau with his 9th assist of the season. That ties him for the NHL lead, with 5 other players at the start of the night. Hudler from Gaudreau, and the Flames have a 1-0 lead, and here they come again. Jesper Fast along the boards, and the Rangers able to clear to center. Back forward is Chris Russell, the veteran defender. Up for Josh Juris. He has the puck knocked off his stick, but only as far as Dougie Hamilton at the left point. Hamilton down the boards, past Michael Foley. Sam Bennett tries to skate it out in front. Went back to the point for Hamilton. He goes cross ice, but out of the zone, and Russell will have to retreat. Spun right back in the zone by Bennett. Dan Girardi back for the Rangers. Girardi and Yandel on defense, and that one through the neutral zone, tapped by Brassard. Miller feeds Brassard. He goes cross ice for Kreider. That one sticked away. Hudler the goal, Gaudreau and Monahan on the assists. 3:06 the time. And here's Dennis Weidman to clear the zone. Through center, 52's Brandon Bolig, former Chicago Blackhawk. He winds it around as the Flames go for a change. Derek Englund almost has it taken away by Hayes. Rangers have possession inside the offensive zone. That one put toward net, stopped by Hiller as Oscar Lindberg put the shot on goal. Lindberg again toward the net. That hits the side of the net. Now JT Miller up the boards. They played a hold in for the moment by Stahl. And Hayes keeps it in as well. Lindberg into open ice, but Michael Frolik the first one there. Off for Michael Backlund. That one wide, stick side of Antti Ranta, and all the way back to center.
Now the Rangers have to try and put some pressure on the goaltender. As we mentioned earlier, goaltending has been a problem. There hasn't been a lot of confidence amongst this group, and so for Jonas Hiller, he's coming off a good game against Detroit last game, but his numbers still aren't close to where he needs them to be effective.
Zuccarello chases Weidman. Winds it around. Derek Stepan shot from between the circles, stopped by Hiller, and then that one put all the way through by Nash. Here's McDonough, puts it right back in the zone. Jonas Hiller stops it. Up the boards, held in by Stepan. Rangers have done that a couple times. Here's Stepan, that shot deflected. Zuccarello in the corner. Now Stepan to the puck along the right boards. Down for Nash, steps off the boards. His shot stopped, and he gets taken down. Good defensive play by Weidman there. That one chipped out of the zone. Race for it, McDonough and Frolik. Derek Grant, rather, along the boards, and he's able to slide it a little bit further. Grant called up from the minors to play in tonight's game.
Those are excellent back-to-back shifts by the Rangers.
All the way around for Garrett Stoll. Rangers' fourth line on the ice for the first time, and there's Emerson Edom in the lineup tonight because Victor Stahlberg sitting this one out after he took the high hit in the head from Radko Gudas last night in Philadelphia. Alain Vigneault said before the game that Stahlberg is feeling better, but not in the lineup tonight. Here's Stoll. Round it goes for Dominic Moore. Now Emerson Edom. Edom watched by Vladislav Schmid. The veteran defenseman able to help the puck out of the zone is Matt Stajan. Goes right side, Dougie Hamilton skates to his left, puts it on goal. Oct.25 able to stop it and cover up. 12:51 remaining in the opening period. Early goal by Jiri Hudler, assisted by Johnny Hockey. It's 1-0 Calgary. 7:09 gone by in the first. Flames with a 1-0 lead. Downstairs we go to Dave Maloney.
Well, it would be certainly hard to follow up last night's emotion-filled event down in Philadelphia with a game against a team that's outside of your division who you really don't see an awful lot. In the meantime, I thought it was going to be important that the Rangers get everybody involved early, you know, to kind of pick up some of that may have been left in Philadelphia last night. So you get yourself a penalty, then you go on the power play and you miss the net, and then the other BC guy sets up the goal for Calgary here, and you trail by 1. But I think the biggest thing down here is really the absence of emotion on both sides, fellas.
All right, Dave, thanks. So that's sort of what we talked about in the open, just the test of energy and focus and fitness, right?
Yeah, you know what's been interesting, too, is that Brad Treliving, who's the general manager of Calgary, and the head coach, Bob Hartley, who won the Coach of the Year honors a season ago, they both said publicly that their team does not have the same work ethic yet that they had a year ago.
Monahan finds an open man. Now cross ice, and Hudler just had his stick lifted. Then that slap shot by Wideman is covered up by Oct.25, and he holds on. Jiri Hudler with the goal. As of right now, that threesome of Gaudreau, Monahan, and Hudler, 22 points. Every other forward on the roster for the Calgary Flames only has 12.
Dave, I got a question for you.
Yes.
If you win the Lady Byng Trophy one year, as Hudler did last year, and get in a fight last game, a 5-minute major, is he still eligible this year?
Well, first of all, I'd turn the award down if I got the Lady Byng. You're probably asking the wrong guy about the Lady Byng.
What if he got a $100,000 bonus?
Yeah, no, I would take the Lady Byng. He's a very personable player, though. He's out here talking to the officials, talking to his mates, and pretty good story. An important guy too, right, Joe?
Yeah,
you get all those young guys in that club.
He's been really good for those two young linemen that he has. Now the Rangers are going to go on the power play again. This will be interference, I believe.
Kreider's
it's going
Joe.
Kreider.
Yeah.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, they were tangled up, and Kreider spilled the Calgary Flame to the ice, so he's going to get the penalty.
Oh, my mistake. I thought it was going to be interference. Kreider was just, I think, a little frustrated. You'll see Kreider doesn't have it, and so as he's trying to get past there, he takes the Flames player, Michael Backlund, to the ice, and Calgary with the power play.
And the power play for the Flames has not been good. 3 of 19 so far, ranked 21st in the league, 1 for their last 11. Kreider gets the holding penalty at 8:07. Rangers' penalty kill has been very good in recent games. 5 games in which they have not allowed a power play goal, 15 straight kills. And they are up to 8th in the league on the penalty kill. Top line on the ice for Calgary. And there's Gaudreau to the puck. Johnny Gaudreau, down low, tries to get it back from Hudler. That one gets out of the zone, and Dominic Moore continues on. Back behind his own net, the captain, Mark Giordano.
Number 6 in white, Wideman, has a tremendous shot from the point.
He's sneaking down the boards, and now he's behind the net as Gaudreau stick handles. Out it goes for Monahan. Looks for an opening, gives it to Gaudreau. Now down low for Hudler. Back up to the point for Giordano. Slap shot there, and that's a good save by Oct.25, who got across and made the stop on Wideman.
Yeah, if they can set Wideman up for that big one-timer, he's dangerous back there. And again, this is just part of the overall game for Calgary that hasn't quite got it together yet. They're lacking in a lot of areas as far as playing as well as they did a year ago. Dave, I know you talked about on the pregame show about the expectations. A lot of these players had career seasons last year for Calgary.
Rick Nash left side. Double teamed, and he'll try to kill some more time as the puck gets wound around. Now the Flames will look to start out. Dougie Hamilton hands it off to his defense partner, Chris Russell. Through center. That one knocked off the stick of David Jones, number 19. And Stahl backhands, and the Rangers are able to clear. As Jared as Derek Stepan flips it down ice. 40 seconds remaining in the penalty to Chris Kreider. 1-0 Flames nearing the halfway point of the first period. An early goal from Yuri Hudler. Good play along the boards by Ryan McDonough. Avoided the check, kept the puck, and handed it off, and now the Rangers go the other way. Jared Stoll's hard shot gloved by the goaltender, Jonas Hiller. Right side, Giordano chips it in, and Yuri Hudler will chase. Calm play by the Rangers. They're able to skate it out of the zone. Here comes Dominic Moore. Final seconds of the penalty to Kreider. Moore with a spinorama, puts it toward goal. Not sure where it is. I don't think Jonas Hiller knows where it is, but the puck is covered up in the final seconds of the Rangers penalty kill. Well, Friday night on MSG, the Rangers take on the Maple Leafs right here at the Garden. Live coverage begins at 6:30 with Visa Rangers Game Night, an original six matchup, the Rangers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Friday night on MSG Network.
The Maple Leafs had 52 shots on goal against Montreal last night. They lost 5-3. Montreal goes 9-0 on the season. But Mike Babcock, the new head coach in Toronto, you can see some improvement in the Maple Leafs every time they play.
9-0, Joe, and all 9 in regulation time.
Pretty impressive.
Remarkable start.
They've won a lot of different ways. Last night, Carey Price is off to another real good start, but he hasn't stolen a lot of games this year. Last night might be one of those.
Flames have made a couple of those cross-ice passes that the Rangers have gotten in front of. This time it is into the Ranger zone. And now Keith Yandle will skate it clear for Chris Kreider. Here comes Kreider left side. And in front of the Rangers bench, Zuccarello going at it with one of the Flames. Matt Stajan and Zuccarello got tangled up, and now the animosity continues right in front of Dave. And watch out for Keith Yandle's stick there, buddy.
Yeah, 52 was trying to get in for Calgary. Brandon Bolig, who's a tough kid.
We'll sort it all out when we come back. 1-0 Flames midway through the first. So both Matt Stajan and Matt Zuccarello in the penalty box. Stajan for interference, Zuccarello for roughing. Time of the penalty, 10:40.
Yeah, they were going to the benches, left side of the screen. There's Stajan with the hit on Zuccarello. Zuccarello didn't like it, so his retaliation sends him to the penalty box as well.
So we skate 4-on-4 in the face-off to the left of Jonas Hiller. Stepan and Nash, McDonough and Klein for the Rangers. Rangers win the draw, but it slides back to the neutral zone. Ryan McDonough tries to control a bouncing puck. And the Rangers will start out. Off the boards, too hard for Rick Nash. Weidman, Giordano, Monahan, and Goudreau, the foursome for the Flames. Klein through the neutral zone. Left side for JT Miller with speed. Miller looks to pull up, but he lost the puck. Left it behind, and Giordano tries to leave the zone. Oh, almost intercepted there by Kevin Hayes. Now cross ice for Michael Frolik. And now Yuri Hudler through center, and the Flames will back it up. As we come up on a minute remaining in the dual penalties and the 4-on-4. Giordano back in his own zone for Frolik. Not a whole lot of offense from either side during this 4-on-4 hockey. Here comes Dougie Hamilton right side. Hands it off for Joe Colborne. And he hands it off for JT Miller. Rangers look to go the other way. Here's Brassard one-on-one. Brassard shot knocked down by Russell, who looked like he was injured on the play. Slow to get up. And then Boyle's follow-up over the glass. And
that's what Russell does. He set an NHL record a season ago for block shots and is way ahead of anybody on either of these two teams. Going in, number 4, Russell, not a big player. He looked like he took that one on the side of the knee.
283 block shots last year. He set a record for stopping 15 in one game alone against Boston in March. 15 block shots in one game. Rangers win the face-off. That one put toward goal. Knocked down again by Russell. Brassard continues on. Here's Yandle. On the boards for Kreider. As Kreider controls. Russell after him. Girardi has an opportunity between the circles, but he was triple teamed and had the puck knocked off his stick.
Now Backlund made the play. Real good two-way center iceman is Backlund. And that nearly an excellent opportunity for Girardi.
Good stick check by Nash, who takes the puck between the circles. His shot just wide. The rebound hops over Brassard's stick. Stajan and Zuccarello out of the penalty box. Team's at full strength. That shot short side is stopped as Brassard looked to go short side on Jonas Hiller, who was able to just about cover up.
Yeah, that was another one that he wasn't totally sure where the puck was.
Well, download MSG Go, the only app that lets you watch MSG Network's coverage of live Knicks games anywhere. Download now at the App Store or Google Play. MSG Go is currently available to Optimum subscribers. Each team with 5 shots on goal, 7:16 remaining in the first period. Flames have the only goal. Wideman gets pulled down by Nash, no call. Nash takes the puck. Stepan tries to find Zuccarello. Zuccarello to the corner. Boyle steps up, has the puck poked past him, and now a chase for it. Mark Stahl gets there. That one back to center, kick back in the zone, and it'll be called a deliberate offside, so the faceoff will come all the way back down into the Flame zone.
Now, I mentioned that Hiller a couple of times wasn't exactly sure where the puck was. This was shorthanded. Moore gets the backhand shot. Where is it? You said, where is it? I didn't know where it was. Guess what? How about in his neck? Wedged. He has a little chuckle about it. Referee goes in, helps him out. Got to find all kinds of ways to keep the puck out of the net.
JT Miller on the faceoff. Miller, Lindbergh, and Hayes on the ice for the Rangers. That one out of the zone back into the Ranger zone. Keith Yandel retreats. It bounces off one of the Flames in pursuit, and they take the puck. There's Grant after it. Yandel still battling for it. Finally, the Rangers should be able to clear the zone. Here's Yandel. Left side for Lindbergh. Deflected away by Grant. And Derek Englund back in his own zone. Stolen by Hayes, but only briefly. Now Englund continues ahead. Derek Englund, backhand, soft, over the top of Antti Ranta's glove. Back to the right point. Yandel gives it away in his own zone. Here's Hudler. Back down the boards, and Keith Yandel will try again. Miller chips it ahead, and the Rangers will go for a change. Coming up on 6 minutes remaining in the opening period. Early goal by Yuri Hudler, a little more than 3 minutes in, giving the Flames a 1-0 lead. Here comes Johnny Gaudreau left side. Kevin Klein with a nice stick check. Emerson Edom after it. Hiller gets there first. Battle along the boards. Stoll and Edom. Now Emerson Edom. With a good pass to Dominic Moore, but he couldn't control, so it's back to the neutral zone. Emerson Edom. Down the boards it goes. Behind the net, there's Dominic Moore. Turns, puts it in front, and Edom just put it wide. Able to fight off a check and just barely missed on that far side.
Yeah, I mean, that gives you an idea of the type of strength that Emerson Edom has. Dougie Hamilton is a big, strong defenseman, and he couldn't stop the follow-through shot by Edom.
Chris Russell's pass off the mark, and that'll be called for icing with 5 minutes, 1 second remaining here in the first period.
Yeah, it's hard to crack this lineup, and Emerson Edom has to try and take advantage of this opportunity. You'll see how strong he is on the stick there. Dougie Hamilton was close to him, had to stick down. 27 is Hamilton. And also some pressure from behind. Look how Edom just fights through both players to get the shot. Just missed on the short side.
Derek Brassard wins the faceoff for the Rangers. Toward the net, that one kicked out. The rebound for Brassard, and he fans on it. Here comes Stahl. Cross ice it goes, and that shot blockered away. This Kreider put it on goal, and Hiller was able to slide across and make the save.
Too many men on the ice. Should have been. They missed that one. Player coming onto the ice for Calgary. As soon as he hit the ice, the puck hit him. And no call.
You can hear some of the Garden crowd and the Ranger bench as well calling for it, and they didn't get the call. Right back into the zone. Bowling shot is wide. David Jones after it. Rangers knock it away from him, and there's Nash. Delicate little pass, and now Zuccarello right side. He's got Boyle with him. Zuccarello pulls up. Boyle takes the puck. There'll be a penalty upcoming here on the Flames as Matt Zuccarello was held. So with 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first period, the Rangers will head to the man advantage for the second time tonight. Mark Giordano will head to the box because of this. A hold on Matt Zuccarello.
Here's a look from our Buick RoboCam. Right off the face-off, Brassard, who's been good on face-offs this season, wins this. And the Rangers turn this into a couple of good scoring chances. Quick puck movement, puck to the net, force a save there. Rangers keep at it. And then the best chance right here. And Hiller comes over with the blocker and makes a real nice save on Chris Kreider.
The RoboCam replay is brought to you by the new Buick. Buick, your kind of luxury. So the Rangers go to their second power play of the night. 0 for 1. They did not have a shot on the first one.
Even though they had the puck for about a minute and 45 seconds or so, they had good puck movement. They missed the net a couple of times, including a wide open miss by Kevin Hayes.
Michael Backlund got a shot on goal that Oct.25 was able to block her away. Yandel feeds Zuccarello, and the Rangers start out. Matt Zuccarello left side, goes cross ice. First one there, though, is Chris Russell. Banks it off the boards and out of the zone. Yandel, Boyle, Zuccarello, Stepan and Nash for the Rangers. Boyle hammers it in. Right around the other way, but only to Rick Nash, who will possess as the Rangers try to set up. Here's Zuccarello for Yandel. Keith Yandel fakes the shot, hands off for Boyle. Now they go cross ice for Zuccarello. That one toward the net looked like more of a pass. Stepan couldn't get to it, and it comes out of the zone. Rangers in the midst of a change. JT Miller hops on the ice. Sean Monahan steals, and the Flames able to clear it down. Ryan McDonough behind his own net with 50 seconds remaining on the Ranger power play. Brassard through center. Stick handling. Now he'll have to chase down his own puck. Dougie Hamilton gets there first, and eventually Joe Colborne will skate it out. Chris Kreider got there to intercept that pass opportunity. Not much for the Rangers so far on the power play as Miller skates it through center. JT Miller tries to go around 3 or 4. It's knocked off his stick, and now here's an opportunity on a breakaway for Michael Backlund. Backlund is in. He shoots. Saved by Ronta. The rebound. Ronta there as well to stop Michael Folik, and he holds on. Oh, big moment there. 2 saves, shorthanded for Antti Ronta.
Well, JT Miller tried to carry it through everyone. He got inside the offensive zone and about the top of the circles, loses it, and then just quickly Calgary throws it out of the zone, and here comes Backlund. And Antti Ronta, one good save and a second one as well, as the Flames came that close to scoring a shorthanded goal with this already 1-0 lead.
Off the face-off win, Mark Stahl behind his own net. For Girardi, he goes cross ice for Rick Nash. Final seconds of the Ranger power play that has produced dangerous chances just for the Flames here. Here comes Girardi into the zone. Has it knocked off his stick. Giordano out of the penalty box. No shots on goal for the Rangers. 3 shots on goal for the Calgary Flames during that power play.
Yeah, what was different on this power play than the first one, where the Rangers had good control and puck movement and passing and shots that missed the net, is that this one was sloppy. A lot of one-on-one play, not enough play as a group of 5, and they had to rely on their goaltender, Antti Ronta, to bail them out of that situation.
Ryan McDonough for the Rangers. Off the boards, down behind where Jonas Hiller collects. Up to the point for Klein. His shot toward the net deflected wide by Dominic Moore. Here's Moore now on the steal. Another spinorama. Back pass to the point. Klein looks, shoots high and wide. Moore for Stoll, who will go to the corner. Good work here by the Rangers' 4th line. Up the boards, but nobody there as Klein had moved to the center of the ice. So he'll have to go retreat inside the final 90 seconds of the first period.
Yeah, the Rangers have actually generated quite a few scoring chances in this first period, but most of those quality chances, they've missed the net.
Tipped ahead by Hayes. Hamilton, first one to it, and the Flames clear the zone. Here comes David Jones right side. Stahl with him. two come together. Now 5 players there for the puck, and JT Miller skates it away. Final minute of the first period here at Madison Square Garden. Matt Stajan able to dump it into the Rangers zone. Both teams go for a change. Mark Stahl left side for Kevin Hayes. But quickly back the other way, and Dan Boyle will have to chase it down. No icing, 35 seconds remaining in the opening period. That one cross ice off the mark, and Colborne able to keep it in the zone. Good play by Jesper Foss to fight off Michael Backlund, and now the Rangers go the other way. Here's Kreider left side, slap shot, stopped by Hiller, who went down to his knees and covered up with 21 seconds remaining in the opening period. Well, there's no place like the world's most famous arena. You can secure your Knicks season subscription and get access to premium locations and unique benefits as well by visiting nyknicks.com today. Knicks get set to start the regular season Wednesday in Milwaukee. That game right here on MSG. Off the draw, Flames control, and they'll skate it to center. Kevin Klein for Chris Kreider. 10 seconds remaining here in the opening period. Ryan McDonough through center. Will dump it in as the final seconds tick off, and the first period in the books here at Madison Square Garden. 8 shots apiece, but the only goal coming a little more than 3 minutes in from Jiri Hudler.
Well, the Rangers, after playing last night, looked a little bit sloppy, even though they were able to generate some scoring chances in the first, but again, missed the net too often. They're going to have to improve in a few areas in period number 2.
1-0 Flames after 1. Downstairs we go to Al Troutwig.
Okay, John, coming up on the Delta Intermission Report, I'll talk to Oscar Lindberg, who was hot early, now not so much, but he's still finding ways to contribute to the Rangers. The Audi MSG 150 with Bill Pito recaps what was a busy overtime night in the National Hockey League. And I'm joined by Steve Valiquette to break down what he has seen as the Calgary Flames, on some gorgeous passing, strike for the only goal in the first period. Rangers need to get things on target. And we'll talk to Oscar Lindberg next on the Delta Intermission Report. 1-0 Calgary.
Welcome back to Madison Square Garden, getting ready for the start of the second period with the Flames leading the Rangers by the score of 1-0. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. And Joe, it's time for our Cadillac trivia question, and it somewhat involves the man who had the assist on the first and only goal. Johnny Gaudreau from Salem, New Jersey, won the 2014 Hobey Baker Award as the best player in college hockey, of course, who is the only New York native ever to win the award.
Wow, good question. Rochester in the state of New York?
Last time I checked, yes.
No, there's Dad. He is with, there's quite the contingent here. Johnny told us before the game, to buy a few tickets, he said, but he's got college friends here and friends from back home and a whole group of people here to watch him play.
He looks thrilled, doesn't he?
Typical dad. There's a lot going through his mind.
Absolutely.
Even though it's his son's second year in the NHL. He went back to Boston College for the first half of the summer and went to school, took some classes. So he's working. He's going to continue to work to get his degree, and then he spent the second half of the summer back home. I said, how much did you skate? And this guy's a rink rat. That's all. If he could skate every second of every day, he would. He said, I forced myself to stay off the ice because I found out last year how grueling an NHL season can be. So he didn't skate quite as much as he normally does.
40 assists, 64 points, led all rookies in the NHL last season. So second period underway. Top line's on the ice again, and after 7 seconds, we have a whistle, so the faceoff will be inside the Flame zone. Interesting numbers from the first period. The Rangers attempted 22 shots, but 9 of them, Joe, were wide. Missed the net. Well, that's what we talked about.
Yeah, they created some real quality scoring chances. Holding onto the puck and making plays, but just missed the net too many times.
Flames attempted 10 shots, 8 on goal, 2 wide, and none blocked by the Rangers. So a slow start here to the second period. 2 whistles in the first 15 seconds and 2 faceoffs inside the Flame zone.
Yeah, so if the Rangers can take what they created in the first period and be a little bit sharper in their execution as far as what they're shooting the puck and making the pass and that type of thing. Just have a little bit more a little bit more intensity on what they're doing. They should be able to score some goals on this Calgary team.
Here comes Gaudreau through center. Yuri Hudler drops it off. Weidman has his stick checked from behind by Derek Brassard. Good back check there by Brassard because Weidman was ready to wind and fire.
This is a Calgary defense that has 4 defensemen that had 40 or more points a season ago, and then they've got a 5th that had 34, and that was Russell.
Here's Bennett, and that shot blocked by Ryan McDonough. Follow up by Russell is saved. Glove saved by Antti Raanta, and he holds on.
A great play by Ryan McDonough on Bennett. Bennett, 4th round or a 1st round pick, 4th overall pick in 2014. Had a real good scoring chance, and Ryan McDonough did a nice job blocking that. Bennett missed most of last season with shoulder surgery. Came back at the end of the year, played some junior hockey, and then joined the team. Played 1 regular season game and was outstanding. Maybe he had more scoring chances in the 1st round of the playoffs than any other forwards for Calgary. That's how good he was in the playoffs.
Yeah, 4th overall pick in 14. Aaron Ekblad, Sam Reinhart, Leon Draisaitl, and then Sam Bennett in that order. Chipped into the flame zone as Dominic Moore chases it off the boards, and this is Josh Juris. Hands off for Grant, who got hooked. No call on the play, and that's the screen from the Flames bench as there's a gathering in front of Antti Raanta.
Well, this is part of Grant's game. They're missing a few players out of their lineup that give them some toughness and some grit, and so Grant being recalled, that's part of his game. So he'll get in there and try and stir things up a little bit.
Michael Furland out of the lineup. He's listed as week to week with a sprained MCL, and Lance Buma also with a broken fibula. You heard the head coach Bob Hartley say it's like losing a 30-goal scorer when you take that kind of toughness out of the lineup.
Yeah, well, it was part of the grit with which they played at last year. There were a lot of people that thought prior to last season that Bob Hartley's team was going to finish 29th, 30th in the league and have a chance at those two picks that went 1 and 2, and they surprised everyone with their play.
Off the face-off, that shot deflects wide in the glove side of Antti Raanta. Keith Yandel behind his net. Backlund has the stick knocked out of his hand, and that'll be a penalty on the Rangers. It's a slashing call, and Keith Yandel will head to the penalty box. So for the 2nd time tonight, the Flames will have a power play.
Yandel loses the puck, and then there's the slash. These sticks, as we mentioned often over the last number of years, they break easily, and so as soon as that stick snapped, whistle was blown, Yandel to the penalty box.
So Sean Monahan takes the face-off. Yandel for slashing at 1:23. The Flames had just 1 shot on goal in that last power play in the 1st period. Rangers have killed off 16 consecutive penalties, 16 consecutive opposition power plays. But here's Giordano. Hands it off for Gaudreau. Holds, spins, and looks. Rangers have Moore and Fost up front. Klein and McDonough back. Giordano to Gaudreau. Now down low for Hudler. Looks to spin on McDonough. Now back to the point. Toward the net. That one deflected away by Kevin Klein. Chase for it. Flames maintain possession. Here's Monahan. Looking. Cross ice for Giordano. Toward the net. That one stopped by Raanta. The rebound bounces, and the Rangers able to get there and bank it off the boards and clear. Rangers will change their forwards here to kill. Oscar Lindberg on the ice as well as Jarrett Stoll as the Flames carry it back into the zone. Giordano looks to the point for Gaudreau. Giordano toward the net. That one sails wide. Weidman for Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau steps down the left side. Now behind the net. Still looks. Same 2 defensemen on the ice for the Rangers. Cross ice. Weidman winds up, and that one stopped by Lindberg, who put his body in perfect position to stop the shot. Back up the boards. Here's Weidman again. Weidman looks through traffic. That one deflects just wide.
penalty killer's tired now. They just can't clear the zone, and Calgary's had real good control and good looks on this power play.
And finally, the Rangers able to bat it out with Oscar Lindberg. The defense can go to the bench to change in the final 20 seconds of the penalty to Keith Yandel. Giordano's been on the ice the entire power play, and he hands off for Sam Bennett, left side. Down the side. That one stopped, and the rebound just wide. Good play by Mark Stahl, who was able to get Juris out of the way. Here's Josh Juris with the puck for Backlund. Backlund has Bennett in front. Looks for him, and Bennett just missed it. Yandel out of the box. Team's back at full strength. Rangers able to survive that despite 3 shots on goal for the Flames. Now Nash taken down. Play continues. Backlund. His pass intercepted by Yandel, who clears the zone. So in the early stages of the second period, while trailing, the Rangers able to weather a power play. They've now killed off 17 consecutive opposition power plays. Girardi around the boards. Crowd trying to encourage the Rangers, give them some energy with a Let's Go Rangers chant. That's staging. Off the bench, that shot just wide. Brandon Boley hopped right on. On the boards for Chris Kreider, who has room to go. Now off for Brassard, who dumps it in and will chase it down. Weidman after it as well. Now Boley. There's the zone for Weidman. That one deflects off Dan Boyle. His pass tipped ahead by Kreider. Kreider battles. Brassard finds Zuccarello. He looks for some open ice. Backlund to him. Boyle down low now for Zuccarello. Zuccarello for Yandel. Through traffic. That one short side wide. Didn't look like Jonas Hiller saw it.
No, you're right, John. He did not see that. It was kind of a fake pass by Yandel. He thought about going to the far side, then elected to take the shot on goal.
Lindberg off the boards and a good pass. Here's Mark Stahl. Stahl behind the net. For Kevin Hayes. Sharp angle shot stopped, and the rebound eluded Oscar Lindberg in front. Stahl on it again. Lindberg squeezed along the boards by Ladislav Schmid, and now here come the Flames the other way. Derek Grant for Frolik. That one intercepted by Lindberg. Quickly the other way, but the puck hops over JT Miller's stick. 5.5 minutes into the second period, Flames maintaining a 1-0 lead. Rangers look to clear the zone, and calmly, Oscar Lindberg flips it.
You know, we've talked about some of these Calgary Flames players that have been injured. And this, we can't forget about TJ Brody, who's an outstanding young defenseman. He's been out with a broken hand. He is on this trip with Calgary, but probably still a week away or so from playing.
Zuccarello for Stepan. And now Matt Zuccarello in center. For Nash, between the circles, that shot sails high and wide. Behind for Zuccarello, wrap around in front, looking for it is Nash, and finally skated clear by Chris Russell. Now the Flames could go 2-on-1, but the puck hops over Monahan's stick at the last second. Derek Englund back in his own zone. Off the boards for Goudreau. And Monahan spins away from a check from Emerson Edom. Rangers have the fourth line on the ice. As it's wound around behind Antti Raanta. McDonough goes after it. Girardi on the ice as well. He's taken down. Persistent forecheck here by the Flames.
This is an interesting line. Stepan. Now he is off the ice.
Edom drops for McDonough. Through traffic. That one high and wide. All the way around, and here comes...
Too many shots missing the net.
Yeah, Grant the other way for Bennett. Sam Bennett all the way to the goal. Oh, there's a big crash in the net. Puck outside the crease. 4 Rangers in it, and the net is off the moorings. Big collision that sent Antti Raanta into the net, but no whistle blown. Raanta bent over. We'll take a break. 12:43 remaining in the second. 1-0 Flames.
Well, the only goal that's been allowed by Antti Raanta was one that was unstoppable. Other than that, he's been good. This little drop pass here. Here comes the 19-year-old Sam Bennett. Garrett Stahl hanging over him. A big collision in front. Raanta stops that. Look at that concentration as he keeps his eye on the puck. Here's a look at our Coke Zero Super Slow-Mo. The concentration by Raanta, all those bodies. Ranta's able to fight all that off, make that save, keep it out of his net. How about this? There it is again. Sam Bennett with the try. Excellent save by Raanta.
Face off in the neutral zone. Derek Brassard didn't know why they let that face-off go through. They did, and the Flames control the puck. Tipped ahead, no icing as Dan Girardi chases it back. Now Keith Yandel. Up the middle, out of the zone, but only as far as Derek Englund wheels and fires it right back in. Coming up on 12 minutes remaining here in the second period, so nearly halfway through the game, the Rangers have 9 shots on goal and have missed the net 9 times. Englund and Yandel after it. Brassard there as well. Stabbing at it, and now Kreider to the point for Jesper Fast. Toward the net, kicked away by Chris Russell.
How about that save? That's why he led the league in block shots.
Boy, the Rangers thought it was going to be an icing. It wasn't. Colborne there. That shot shouldered away by Antti Raanta. Little miscommunication. Raanta had his glove up as if to indicate offside, and now here's a bad bounce and an opportunity for Frolik, but he has the puck knocked off his stick at the last second. Yandel might have gotten the stick there. Cross ice for Giordano. That one tipped ahead by Backlund. Mark Stahl backward. Stahl and Boyle, the defense pair for the Rangers. Here comes Hayes. Cross ice for Lindberg. Oscar Lindberg looks for Miller right side. Fans on the shot. Then loses the puck, and the top line on the ice with the top defense pairing for the Flames. Here's Goudreau. Backhands it ahead for Hudler. Back for Johnny Goudreau. Mark Stahl on him. Battle continues. Up the boards it goes for Chris Russell. Toward the net with traffic there. Hudler was there, and Antti Raanta might have gotten a piece of that. And the Rangers clear the zone. Miller backhands ahead. Here's JT Miller between the circles. Right side, now back across. And again, maybe one pass too many. Derek Stepan had an opportunity.
Yeah, he had a chance to shoot and tried to get the pass all the way across.
Quickly the other way, Hamilton with a wrist shot that sails over Raanta. Now Stepan. Hard pursuit by Bennett on the forecheck. Back it goes for McDonough. His pass intercepted by Grant toward the net, all the way through and wide. Giordano back in his own zone. 10 minutes remaining here in the second period. Rangers trail it 1-0. That one offside. 9:56 remaining in the middle period. The early goal by Yuri Hudler standing up. It's still 1-0. DraftKings brings us our DraftKings Spotlight, and it's on Keith Yandel, who has a 3-game point streak, a goal, 2 assists. He's taken 8 shots during that span and a +2 rating. He's got 6 points in all on the season. Play daily fantasy hockey on DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of the New York Rangers. Rangers can use some of those shots on goal.
Oh, they can. They need to put a little bit more pressure on Jonas Hiller. It's been a fairly easy game in goal for him thus far. And again, part of the Flames' issues in the early part of the season has been their goaltending. The number of goals they're giving up. The Rangers haven't tested him enough.
That one center, Jared Stoll was there, and now Emerson Eden goes left side. Walled off right in front of Dave Maloney by Derek Grant. The boards for Bennett. Now the Rangers take possession. Here's Yandel. There's a shot that's blocked in front. Doesn't get anywhere close as Grant got in the way. Dominic Moore taken out as he spun into a check. Sam Bennett threw the body, and the Rangers have the puck. Keith Yandel in his own zone. Waits, looks, and the pursuit creates a turnover. Here's Goudreau between the circles, goes glove side and wide. And now Dominic Moore through center. More waits. Rangers in the midst of a line change, so he dumps it down the boards. Kreider after it. He throws a hit on Schmid. Rangers wind it around. Jesper Fast, first one there. Brassard battling along the boards as well, but now Monahan skates it clear. Up the boards for Hudler. Toward the net, McDonough pokes it away, and Chris Kreider takes possession. But his pass off the mark, right to Russell, and that one deflects off the skate of Kevin Klein and into the crowd with 8:40 remaining here in the middle period. Wednesday night on MSG, Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks open the regular season in Milwaukee. They will take on the Bucks. Live coverage begins at 7:30 with Visa Knicks Game Night. The Knicks season opener is Wednesday night on MSG Network and also available on MSG Go. Hayes, Miller, and Lindbergh on the ice for the Rangers. Stahl and Boyle for the face-off to the left of Antti Raanta. Face-off win for the Flames. Weidman puts it toward net, doesn't get anywhere close, and now the Rangers will start out. Miller down the right side, flips it in and goes around Giordano. Big hit with Weidman. Miller stays on his skates, and the Rangers have the puck. Lindbergh tries to find Dan Boyle, but that one behind him and all the way down ice. Here's Mark Stahl. Stahl for Emerson Edom. Oh, check it, Kevin Hayes. Hayes pulls up for Miller. His shot, kick save with the right pad by Hiller. Now Hayes behind the net. Centers, and they score! Kevin Hayes on the backhand pass. Oscar Lindbergh finishes, and the Rangers tie it at 1.
Yeah, that shot by Lindbergh ends up hitting the defenseman Dougie Hamilton and then deflecting through the legs of the goaltender Hiller. This line again gives the Rangers a spark. The initial shot from JT Miller kicked out by Hiller, and then the Rangers just keep working. Behind the back, beautiful pass, and then that shot might have been going wide by Lindbergh. Here it is again, 27, watch him in the white. There's the shot, he doesn't get much of it, but it goes off his right shin pad through the legs of the goaltender Hiller, and the Rangers have some life. Goal apiece.
A jolt of adrenaline that was much needed on their 11th shot on goal. They're able to score, and it's Oscar Lindbergh with his 5th of the season. Now a giveaway, and Kevin Klein able to finally recover with the help of Derek Stepan. Flames still have it. Here's Hudler. Back for Giordano. That shot blocked by Stepan. Now Ryan McDonough after it. Flames able to keep in. Here's Gaudreau toward the net. Now we'll try a wraparound, and a good play by Klein to get in the way. Juris tries a wraparound as well. It goes right through the crease.
Boy, Johnny Gaudreau has stolen the puck 3 or 4 times in this game and nearly turned something into that. The first one, of course, he had an assist on the only goal when the Rangers gave the puck away. That time he just missed. Kevin Klein, give him credit. He made an outstanding defensive play.
Less than 7 minutes remaining here in the second period. A goal from Oscar Lindbergh has tied it up. Edom behind the net for Stoll. Schmid on him. Good play by Edom to steal it back. Got caught up in the skates of Dominic Moore. Now the Flames look to go 3-on-2. Bennett pulls up. Now the drop pass, and Schmid's shot is stopped by Antti Raanta, who goes down at the top of the crease and holds on.
Now, Johnny Gaudreau, every time he's on the ice, you have to be so careful with the way you handle the puck. Here's a little bouncing puck, and here comes Gaudreau. Waits, and then there's Klein, anticipating Gaudreau was going to try and stuff the puck in around the net. Klein slid down and was able to block the attempted chance from Gaudreau.
3 seconds. Lindbergh gets 5th from Hayes and Stahl.
So the Ranger goal, Lindbergh is 5th from Hayes and Mark Stahl. 12:03 the time of the goal, and for Oscar Lindbergh, a team-leading 5th goal on the season. Jesper Fast through center, chips it in. He and Englund go after it. Brassard there as well, and the battle ensues. Now behind the net, past Brassard, up the boards. Here comes Boyle. And Boyle controls. Now Fast with the shot that gets knocked down in front by Backlund. And the Flames look to start out. Joe Colborne down the left side. Colborne holds, waits, toe drags, puts it on goal just wide. Might have caught a piece of the right pad of Antti with traffic in front. Now Brassard the other way. He has it knocked off his stick, and Frolik looks to wheel. Now Russell in his own end. Girardi taps it ahead, and JT Miller goes down the right side. Looks in front, Hayes cruising through, Miller lost his edge. The Flames take the puck. Brandon Bollig, one-on-one. Good back check by Kevin Hayes. Bollig along the boards. David Jones as well, and now Kevin Hayes skates it out. He has it stick checked away, and the Flames look to go the other way. Matt Stajan hands it off for Bollig, who backhands it in. Flames go for a change, as do the Ranger forwards. Through center, off the mark. Tiller will play it behind his net as we come up on 5 minutes remaining in the second period. That went over the glass, but it did touch the glass, so no penalty. 5:01 remaining in the second. Oscar Lindberg, with his 5th of the season, has tied it at 1.
The Rangers goal from our Volvo telestrator. That's Oscar Lindberg circled, and he does an awful lot of work on this play. JT Miller with the shot. Lindberg now behind the net, goes and gets it, throws it behind, but doesn't stop. We stop it there, and look at how he's got this lane right here. He'll just follow this lane in, and a beautiful pass coming up. No one picks up Lindberg. Nice job getting in the open. Gets the fortuitous bounce off the leg of the defenseman, Dougie Hamilton. Goal number 5 for Oscar Lindberg to tie the game.
Now that's a good example of when you hear coaches say, keep moving, keep your feet moving, right?
Boy, he did everything. He was the first one in on the forecheck, then went and retrieved the puck, then put himself in a position to get the pass and score the goal.
And that evens the score at 1 here late in the second period. Johnny Gaudreau steps off the boards. Away from McDonough, now goes down the middle, and finally the Rangers, with Rick Nash, able to knock the puck away. Gaudreau had an opportunity for about 4 seconds there. Mark Giordano in his own zone. Through center, tipped ahead by Gaudreau, and he goes after it. Here's Kevin Klein. Good pass from Zuccarello to step on, and now go to the right side for Rick Nash. His wrist shot, glove saved by Jonas Hiller, and he holds on with 4:18 remaining in the second period. Well, join the Rangers in USA Hockey for Try Hockey for free beginner lessons throughout the tri-state area. Visit nyrangers.com to sign up today. Shots are 17-12 shots on goal in favor of the Flames. Rangers have 4 here in the second. Flames have 9. Backlund to center, and Dan Boyle retreats for the Rangers. Here's Brassard. Left side for Kreider, and then gets it back. Brassard avoids the check. And now that one banked off the boards and back to center, where Mark Stahl will chase, but it slides off his stick, and Michael Backlund has the puck. For Russell at the point. Walks it down the left side, goes around the net, tries to center. Mark Stahl got down and knocked that away. Go Colborne to it. Boyle after him. And now Frolik tries to put it toward goal, hits off Stahl, and now back to center. Hamilton chases it. Chips it back into the Ranger zone. Jesper Fast bats it out. Flames in the midst of a line change. Dominic Moore takes the puck, and he starts up right side. Tries to get around Hamilton. Has his stick caught up with Bennett as well. No call. Rangers have the puck. Garrett Stoll. Stoll for Edom. Now Girardi has an open shot and scores! Dan Girardi, after a fortuitous bounce, has given the Rangers a 2-1 lead.
Good work by Dominic Moore to start the play as he was fighting through Dougie Hamilton into the zone. That's him on the left-hand side. He eventually will end up back to the front of the net and might have actually gotten a piece of this. The Rangers with time. And there's Girardi with the shot. Moore was there. Past Hiller. Here it comes again. I don't know if it hit Hiller and deflected, or whether it actually Dominic Moore got a piece of it. But either way, the Rangers with 2 goals here in the second period now lead the Flames 2-1.
It might have caught Jonas Hiller's stick, which served as a ramp.
He seemed right. He didn't have a stick that was slanted, right?
You see the official scoring, but nonetheless, the Rangers take a 2-1 lead. Back to center for Giordano.
That should be icing.
It is an icing indeed, and the Rangers will have a face-off all the way down in the Flames' end. And this is part of a trend that the Flames have suffered throughout this early part of the season. And Bob Hartley understands just how unfortunate it's been. 13-2 now. The Flames have been outscored by their opposition in the second period, Joe.
You know, I watched their last game against the Detroit Red Wings, of which it was their best game. They talked about that second period against Detroit, which was scoreless. And we're very happy with that result because of all the problems they've had. And here again in this one, the Rangers, the tired team, but they've come on stronger here in the second period.
Scored by number 5, Dan Girardi.
Here comes Hayes right side as Dan Girardi is announced as the goal scorer of the go-ahead goal for the Rangers.
And number 26,
It's the 200th point of his NHL career, so congratulations to Dan Girardi, who has spent his entire career as a New York Ranger.
And stole at 16:57.
That one tipped ahead by Kevin Hayes, so no icing. Up along the boards, and it gets through Oscar Lindberg. Here comes Goudreau, left side, goes cross ice, and looked like Hudler tried to pass that instead of perhaps putting it toward goal. Now Monahan looks for an opening. Here's Russell. Tries to slide it in the middle, but Ryan McDonough sweeps it away. Now that shot deflects off Oscar Lindberg and wide. And JT Miller will skate it out. Girardi the goal, his first. Emerson Edom and Jared Stoll the assist. 16:59 the time. And for Emerson Edom, his first point as a New York Ranger.
Well, congratulations to him. As I mentioned earlier, it's a tough lineup to crack. And he's got to try and take advantage of every opportunity when he gets on the ice.
Here's Giordano at the left point. Winds and fires, just wide. Now Weidman. Back down for Backlund. Michael Backlund behind the net. Centers, and it slides all the way on goal, where Antti Raanta is able to find it and cover up with 1:05 remaining here in the second period. Well, Westchester Knicks basketball returns this November. You can get front and center with seats starting at $10. Tickets are on sale now. Visit westchesterknicks.com or call 914-559-6889. You see the milestone point for Dan Girardi, and it's the go-ahead goal.
Not known for his offensive abilities, even though he's always been, I think, a very underrated passer, as Dan Girardi.
And we mentioned this, the 769th game for Girardi, including playoffs. That passes Mark Messier into 10th place on the Rangers' all-time games played list, including regular season and playoffs. Inside the final minute of the second period, Jesper Fast battles for the puck, and the Rangers come away with it. Here's Chris Kreider to the point for McDonough. Gets the deflection by Fast, and it's just wide. A terrific setup there, and Jesper Fast just missed. Now Backlund through center, has Frolik with him. Tries to make the pass. McDonough got there and knocked it away. McDonough and Girardi back on the ice together. Toward the net, doesn't get through as Girardi able to knock it down and then dive to push it ahead.
Now, there's been a lot of talk that Brad Treliving, the general manager for Calgary, is trying to make a big trade to trying to add some offense to his team. As we've talked about, the one line has done most of the scoring for Calgary this season.
McDonough will skate it out of his own zone as the clock winds down and the final seconds tick off of a second period in which the Rangers didn't generate much through much of it. But in the latter stages of the second, goals by Oscar Lindberg and Dan Girardi give them a 2-1 lead.
Well, they finally were able to get the puck to the net, and those shots got to the net. They missed the net so often in the first period, but the Rangers, who looked fatigued after last night, came out and find a way to score a couple of goals, played well enough defensively. Antti Raanta has been strong through 2 periods, and they have a chance to close out this game with a strong 3rd period.
2-1 Rangers after 40 minutes. We go downstairs to Al Troutway.
Hey, John, coming up on the New York Lottery Intermission Report, we've already talked to one of the Ranger goal scorers tonight, Oscar Lindberg, so we'll talk to the other, Dan Girardi. Now, the Audi MSG 150 with Bill Pito includes practice footage from the Knicks Open practice earlier today. They get set to begin their season on Wednesday. I'll be joined by Ron Duguay. We'll break down the goals and whatever else he saw in that 2nd period. Wow, it took the Rangers a long time to erase the frustration and finally put a goal in that was followed by another. It's 2-1 heading to the 3rd. Dan Girardi coming up.
Welcome back to New York Rangers hockey. Getting set for the start of the 3rd period. Rangers lead the Flames 2-1. New York Rangers hockey is presented by Chase. Before we drop the puck on the 3rd, downstairs for Dave Maloney, who spoke to Ulf Samuelsson.
Well, thank you very much, John. I thought unprompted, Ulf was able to say that they're winning the hockey game without playing their game. I thought that was very interesting. He also admitted that perhaps last night certainly was a bit of a factor, and that was also unprompted. I think in the meantime, the keys will be puck decisions. He thought would be very important, particularly against a team like Calgary likes to come with at least 4. And Calgary does a nice job of spinning off checks in the offensive zone. So key in the defensive zone from the Rangers standpoint would be to finish check and stay with the man. And when you look at last year's numbers of this Calgary team, they were plus 31 in goal differential in the 3rd period. They had 10 wins when they came from behind in the 3rd period a year ago. And lo and behold, their last win, they came from a 2-1 deficit and won it in overtime against Detroit. When I asked Ulf if he was aware of Calgary's penchant to come from behind, he said, oh yeah. So the Rangers looking for the little details. I'm not sure they're convinced it's been as good a game as they wanted, but a 1-goal lead here after 2, fellas.
Dave, thanks very much. And this is familiar territory for the Calgary Flames. They have never led after 2 periods yet this season. This is the 8th game they're playing. 7th time they've trailed after 2, and they were tied once heading to the 3rd.
99 goals the Calgary Flames scored in the 3rd period a season ago. That tied for number 1 in the NHL. My buddy Dave's playing hurt. We appreciate Dave. He's a little bit under the weather. And a lot under the weather.
Trooper as he is, though.
He is.
Yeah. Here's Johnny Gaudreau spinning in his own zone. Flames have outshot the Rangers 18-13. Gaudreau into the zone. Now Kevin Klein stick checks him. Down the boards for Monahan. Past him. Rick Nash chips it up the boards. Rangers will look to clear it. Hits off Zuccarello's skates. 2nd try. He shoots it down ice, and right off the bat, 36 seconds into the 3rd, the Rangers are called for icing.
And again, for this year, deciding to call a timeout on an icing takes on a little bit more prominence because of the fact that, especially in a close game, where you might want to save that timeout for a coach's challenge at some point. If you don't have a timeout, you can't make a challenge.
Grant puts it toward goal, and it goes right through Girardi to the far side. Toward the net, Raanta gets his body in the way. Now Russell pokes it ahead. Here's Sam Bennett stepping off the boards, tries to go to the net, and at the last second lost possession might have been a Dan Girardi stick check that got it.
Or even Raanta might have put his stick out as well. Good job on Bennett.
On the boards, here's Derek Brassard. Brassard behind the net for Jesper Fast. Fast trying to battle through a check. And the Flames able to get it to center. Keith Yandel retreats for the Rangers. Jesper Fast tips it in. Rangers will complete a line change. Now the Flames enter the Rangers zone for Leak. Has it stick checked away, and the Rangers shoot it all the way down, but this one will go too far, and it's an icing call. 1:49 into the 3rd.
Yeah, the Rangers they called for a couple of icings here early in the 3rd period. Here's Sam Bennett again with the chance. And there's the play by Ronta. Ronta got it all the way, John. That was not Girardi's stick, John. That was Ronta. So, good try by you.
Every once in a blue moon.
Good defensive play by Girardi.
That
good call by you.
Why, thank you. I had a 1 in 2 chance. Weidman and Miller battle for it behind the net in the left corner. And now Kevin Hayes. Walled off by Backlund, who takes the puck. And goes across ice. Flames start out of their own zone with Weidman. That one tipped into the Ranger zone, where Dominic Moore will collect. And Dominic Moore starts out. Rangers' fourth line produced the go-ahead goal, with Emerson Edom getting an assist on the play, his first point as a New York Ranger. One backhanded down the boards by David Jones. Now Girardi, watched by Jones. Staging there as well. He centers, and a good play by Emerson Edom. Got his stick on the puck, and now will skate it out of the zone. That one flipped in by Jones, who goes to the bench as the Flames change lines.
Rangers have to make sure that they get that puck in deep. That's consecutive shifts, or they come down the ice, they get to the red line and don't get the puck in deep, and Calgary's able to get it back in their end.
Keith Yandel has it caught up in his skates. That one tipped ahead by Derek Stepan, so no icing. Jonas Hiller back to play the puck. Winds it around the boards. Here's Gaudreau. Through center, and Rick Nash back checking. Is able to collect it and fire it right back in as the Rangers go for another change. Brassard, Kreider, and Jesper Fast on for the Rangers. Here's Gaudreau. He drops it off. Some room for Monahan, but that one stopped by Kevin Klein, who stepped up. Now Giordano toward the net. They look for a redirection. Ryan McDonough knocked it down, and he will start out. Here comes Ryan McDonough right side. First one there. And now Yuri Hudler. Around for Monahan. And now Gaudreau waits, flips it in, and that top line of the Flames will head off the ice. Little more than 4 minutes gone by here in the third period. 2 second period goals for the Rangers have given them a 2-1 lead. Here comes Hayes left side. Kevin Hayes puts it all the way through. JT Miller, good hustle. First one to the puck. Has a man in front. It hits off Hayes' skate. Back to the left point for Dan Boyle. Now Oscar Lindberg, who has a goal tonight. For Hayes. Down low for Miller. Now Lindberg puts it on goal, and Jonas Hiller held his spot. Not sure if it got through, but the Flames able to clear.
Now this line again, this line of youngsters for the Rangers has been their best line in this game. They were last night, I believe, against Philadelphia. Plenty of scoring chances.
Backlund quickly the other way. His shot, it caught Dan Girardi up high. The rebound deflects wide. Girardi stays in the play as Backlund goes for it along the right boards. That one backhanded toward goal by Schmid and stopped by Antti Ranta. Saw it through traffic, made the stop. And the Rangers clear the zone. Big hit there as Jared Stoll was run into by Ladislav Schmid.
Got away with that one. Stoll didn't touch the puck. It was already past him.
And then Stoll couldn't get out of the zone fast enough, so Dominic Moore carried in offside. 14:33 remaining here in the third period. Well, Tuesday on MSG Plus, relive the Giants' win over the Dallas Cowboys this afternoon. Highlights and analysis, all of it on Giants Rewind, Tuesday at 6 on MSG Plus. Giants winning 27-20 this afternoon. Rangers keep their fourth line on the ice for the face-off in the neutral zone. Derek Englund with the puck. Gains the red line, takes a hard hit from Emerson Edom, winds it all the way around. And Edom has the puck, flips it calmly to Dominic Moore. Moore and Englund come together. Dominic Moore will get to the puck there. Chris Russell battling him. Now Hiller calmly plays it for Englund off the boards. Through Jones, and now Yandel will back it up. Here's Rick Nash. Didn't flip it far enough into the zone, and now the Flames look to go the other way. Good play by Kevin Klein off of Yuri Hudler's soft pass into the Ranger zone. Hudler will try it again, off his stick. And McDonough after it. Down for Klein. Not out of the zone. Here's Gaudreau. His pass for Monahan. Tries to go all the way through for Hudler, but Derek Stepan stepped in the way. Now a chase for the puck as Nash goes after it. So does Dennis Weidman. Weidman gets there first. Good play by him. Quickly the Flames the other way. Here's Monahan left side, all the way through. And Mark Stahl calmly pokes it back out of the zone. Nearly 7 minutes gone by here in the third as Chris Kreider steps into the Ranger zone. Kreider, Broussard, and Fost on for the Rangers. Here's Johnny Gaudreau. 3-on-3. A good back check as well by Broussard, but now an opportunity just wide as Grant stepped off the bench. And his quick shot, glove side, just missed. That one centered, and now Chris Kreider bats it ahead. And his pass for Fost was off the mark. Didn't get all of it. Dougie Hamilton shoots in. Girardi quickly for JT Miller. His pass in a dangerous area of the ice. Puck still in the Ranger zone, but now Kevin Hayes able to control.
Miller recovered after that pass where he didn't get all of it when he went to the middle of the ice and then came back and made a good defensive play to clear the zone.
Now Hayes off the turnover. Kevin Hayes toward the net. Through traffic, 2 saves by Hiller. You can see he keeps his right pad anchored to the post, and he's able to cover it up just outside the goal line. 12:06 remaining here in the third. Rangers lead at 2-1. It is time to answer the Cadillac Trivia question. Johnny Gaudreau from Salem, New Jersey won the 2014 Hobie Baker Award, who is the only New York native to win the award, and we'll bring Dave in for this one as well. You got this, bud?
Well, I thought I heard somebody upstairs say Nick Fatiou, but I'm not going to go with Nick.
You got the New York part,
Yeah,
right?
Oh, it's not him? Darn it, I thought it was Nick.
I might go with another BC guy, though, and Brian Giunta.
All right.
Well, you're wrong, too.
Yeah.
My buddy up here's got it right.
I'm going to go with Matt Gilroy. See if I'm right on it. There you go. Nat Gilroy, former Ranger.
Nice.
2009.
Yeah, 0 for the year. That's good. There we go.
I know that in no small part because I went to high school with Matt Gilroy's dad.
Wow, you're old.
Shush. I'm reminded of that every minute. Oscar Lindbergh looks for the outlet pass, and that one knocked away.
Yeah, the area of this third period where the Rangers have been strong. We've talked about
Miller's shot stopped, the right pad save from Jonas Hiller.
not always getting the puck in deep, but where they have made good plays are their passes coming out of their zone.
Yandel looks, sizes it up, takes a shot, the rebound right out in front. What a stop by Hiller. Another opportunity, they score! Kevin Klein jumped on the loose puck. And the Rangers lead it 3-1.
Now the Rangers are able to carry the puck over the blue line. JT Miller had one shot, then it leaves the zone. That shot by Keith Yandel. And then the Rangers just get to a couple of beautiful saves by Hiller. And eventually that shot by Kevin Klein deflects off the Calgary player and past Hiller. Hiller, good save. That one deflected on its way in. Kevin Klein will get credit for it. What a huge goal for the Rangers. Derek Engelland is the Calgary defenseman that it hits. Goal number 2 on the season for Kevin Klein.
That came after a fabulous save from Jonas Hiller, who robbed Emerson Edom wide open in front. So 2 of the 3 Ranger goals from their defensemen, and they lead at 3-1 here in the third with 11 minutes remaining. There's Edom to skate it out of the zone. Gains the red line and backhands it in. Dominic Moore, first one there for the Rangers. Up the boards over Dan Boyle out of the zone, and that one will slowly trickle all the way down, and they will call an icing with 10 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third.
Boy, what a start to the season for Kevin Klein again. Now, not only in the offensive department with his second of the season, but his overall play is a big reason why he's getting more minutes. He's been moved up to play with Ryan McDonough. Steady, steady, steady is Kevin Klein, and every now and then he scores a big goal for the team as well.
Face-off win for the Rangers. And now Josh Juris flips it down. Check that. That's Jones. David Jones after it. Double teamed by Girardi and Yandel. Good play by Dan Girardi, but then Keith Yandel has it knocked away from behind in a dangerous area. That one hits off the back of Zuccarello, so Stajan keeps it in the zone. Toward the net, that one wide of the stick side of Antti Raanta, who has made 18 saves and leads it 3-1. Put out in front. Good battle here by the Flames to keep the puck around the net. All the way through there. Here's Chris Russell down from his point spot. Zuccarello went down to block that one. That one right out in front as well. Stepan able to skate it clear. Here's Derek Stepan. Takes a bump, goes down, and now we'll head to the bench as his line is changing. Oh, that one hit Ryan McDonough up high, and he is hurt. He has taken a couple of those this year. Slowly goes to the bench as the Rangers skated into the zone. Here's Brassard. Derek Brassard fires and scores! Derek Brassard goes glove side and gives the Rangers a 4-1 lead.
Again, the Rangers hitting the net with the shot. McDonough does a nice job and pays for it, standing up in the neutral zone. Russell tries to make the pass. Here comes McDonough to break it up. Solid play by McDonough as he leaves the ice, and the Rangers turn it into goal number 4. Brassard has plenty of time, and you see the screen by Kreider in front, and Hiller didn't have much of a chance. The Flames in their own zone in this game have not put much pressure on the puck carrier, and with the Rangers starting to hit the net, they're scoring more, and now a 3-goal lead and a nice cushion with 9:34 to play in regulation.
So 4 unanswered goals for the Rangers after they gave up the first goal only 3+ minutes into the game.
Now that's the one thing that's really surprised me in this game. When you watch the Calgary Flames play compared to a season ago, when they would hunt the puck, they would not give you any time to make plays. The Rangers, when they've had the puck in the offensive zone, the Calgary Flames as a group, they've been very passive. And that last goal, a very good example.
Rangers goal, his 3rd of the season, scored by number 16, Derek Brassard.
Grant has his pass knocked away by Oscar Lindberg. Back into the Ranger zone for Mark Stahl.
At number 27, Ryan McDonough.
Oscar Lindberg takes a bump but clears the zone. So Derek Brassard, his 3rd goal of the season. Jesper Fast, and a very difficult second assist for Ryan McDonough, who looked like he took it off the side of the head. Went to the bench. He gets the second assist. 10:26 the time of the goal, and the Rangers lead it 4-1. Mark Stahl in the corner.
And he misses the shift. Now Fine out with Mark Stahl. As McDonough still on the Ranger bench.
There's a battle there between Stahl and Frolik. And now JT Miller chips it ahead. Brassard for Lindberg. Now Derek Brassard calmly slides it into the Flame zone as the Rangers go for a change. And Michael Backlund through center. For Giordano. His shot deflected away by Dan Girardi. Now that one only to the point where Giordano keeps it in. Put back on goal by Colborne, and it's a stop by Antti Raanta. And a second swipe by Colborne. The Rangers didn't like that. 7:59 remaining in the 3rd. 2 goals in rapid succession for the Rangers. Kevin Klein and Derek Brassard. It's 4-1. Joe, let's take a look at the Papa John's 3rd goal replay.
Well, the Rangers carry the puck in. Yandel elects to take the shot. This is a gorgeous save by Hiller. And the Rangers keep going, and Kevin Klein smartly moves up, takes a shot. It bounces off Englund and into the net. for the Rangers' third goal of the game.
The day after the Rangers score 3 or more goals, get 50% off your regular menu-priced online order at papajohns.com with promo code Rangers3. It's available at participating Papa John's locations. So after that last one eluded Jonas Hiller, Yanni Ordio steps in and Hiller goes to the bench. So the goaltender change for the Calgary Flames as the Rangers score 2 in a minute 48, and they lead it 4-1. Hiller allowed 4 goals on only 21 shots. One too far, and icing called on the Rangers. Coming up, we've got the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, the wonder of it all.
Yanni Ordio, his first minutes of the season. They had been carrying, the Calgary Flames had been carrying 3 goaltenders, all on one-way contracts. Until recently, when Harry Ramo was put on waivers, went through waivers, and was sent to the minor leagues.
Another icing on the Rangers with 7:40 remaining here in the third. Well, the upcoming schedule is brought to you by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Rangers. Nice little break here for the Rangers. They get 4 days off before they face the Maple Leafs here at the Garden on Friday. And then a few more days off, they'll face the Caps here at MSG. So the next 2 separated by about 8 days. And don't forget, 7 o'clock the puck drop and 1/2 hour before that for Visa Rangers game night. Weidman for Giordano. That one off the mark, and now Johnny Gaudreau chases it. Dominic Moore chips it out of the zone, and we'll probably see a lot of that in the last 7+ minutes with the Rangers holding a 3-goal lead. Giordano for Gaudreau. His pass through Monahan. Rangers look to break. It just eluded Rick Nash, but he chases it down and actually negates the icing. So good hustle by Rick Nash. Here's Matt Zuccarello. Tries to center, and it banks off Monahan's stick. Up the boards by Weidman. Ryan McDonough back on the ice. That's good to see. And now here's Monahan into the zone. Oh, McDonough spun right back into Sean Monahan. Fortunately, did not lose the puck. And here he comes. Right side for Matt Zuccarello. 3 Flames back. Zuccarello tries to feather it through. And that one skids wide. Here's Chris Kreider. Now Zuccarello. Slap shot. Blocker save. And a good shot there by McDonough. First time Ordio has been tested, and he comes through with the stop. Girardi's pass too far, but right on goal, so play continues. Dougie Hamilton down the boards, and now Bolig. Brandon Bolig through center, slowly steps in, and Antti Raanta able to glove it down. He'll keep play going by winding it around the boards. 5:50 remaining here in the third. And now Derek Brassard, right side for Kreider. Chris Kreider pulls up. Keith Yandel tries to pull it through and can't quite do it. But Kreider backing up, covering up the play, and now Frolik the other way quickly. Down the middle, and Backlund's opportunity stopped by Raanta. Michael Backlund found himself in close range to the Ranger goaltender, but Raanta able to stop it. Miller winds it around for Oscar Lindberg. Now JT Miller. Oh, Dan Boyle fans on a slap shot from close range as well. And the Flames go the other way. Here's Frolik. Good play by Mark Stahl, who lifted the stick of Backlund. And the Rangers able to chip it off the boards, but not out. Backlund trying to spin on Stahl. That shot put on goal. Raanta alert to steer it away. Hamilton again. That one stopped by Hayes in front. Flames putting on pressure here in the final 5 minutes.
The Rangers have given up just 4 shots, though. 4 shots on goal to Calgary in this third period.
Emerson Edom battling in the neutral zone. Rangers making a defensive change, so they'll have to get back. And a good play by Jared Stoll, who got Bennett off the puck. Now here comes Jared Stoll through center. Stoll looking. Around the net. To the point for McDonough. Looks. fakes, fires, tip just wide by Edom. Emerson Edom parked in front, got a stick on it, but it was wide.
It was after Edom made a good defensive play in his own zone to clear the zone. Here he is again.
Here he comes left side. He's got Moore with him and Stoll as well. Jared Stoll tries to put it toward Moore, and that one deflected away. Schmid seems shaken up on the play. Bent over as play continues.
I believe he got that on the side of the foot.
Dominic Moore behind the net now steps out left side, puts it back behind for Jared Stoll. Stoll for McDonough toward the net, deflected away. Emerson Edom battles for it. Finally skated away by Yuri Hudler. 3.5 minutes remaining here in the third. Rangers with 2 in the second, 2 more in the third, and they lead it 4-1. David Jones taken out right in front of the Rangers bench. And the Flames look for a pass down the middle for Goudreau, but that one deflected away. Goudreau to the puck. Now Hamilton spins, shoots, just wide. Left side of Antti Raanta. Russell toward the net, that one wide as well. And a calm little pass there from Zuccarello to Stepan, and off they go. Here's Derek Stepan down the left side. Waits, looks, shot, stopped by Ordio again. To the puck, Zuccarello, his shot wide. Boyle will keep it in. Not only for the moment as the Flames skated out of the zone and flip it down ice with 2:40 remaining here in the third. Boyle up the boards. Derek Englund there for the Flames. Rangers have outshot Calgary 24-22. Stahl in his own zone with Dan Boyle. That one intercepted by Backlund, who brings it right back in the zone. His shot deflected, stopped by Antti Raanta. Couldn't find it, but the Rangers able to come to his defense. And now Chris Kreider through center. Kreider left side. His shot stopped by Ordio, who juggles it and is able to hold on with 1:56 remaining in the third period, and the Rangers on top, 4-1. Well, here we go, Rangerstown. Limited individual tickets available for Tuesday, November 10th against the Carolina Hurricanes. For great seats, be sure to visit NewYorkRangers.com.
Well, the Rangers have played their best period here in the third. The Rangers have actually looked like the team that have had more energy, even though they played that hard-fought game last night. It went to a shootout. They really got home late last night, and the Rangers have come out in this third period and saved their best for the third.
And that, I would imagine, Joe, would be what Bob Hartley is most bothered by. The fact that it was still a game after 2 periods, and in short order, within 2 minutes of each other, the Rangers had 2 more goals. Grant drops it off. Russell between the circles has his shot deflected, but never got the goal. Kevin Hayes skates away with the puck. You are watching the Foxwoods Final Five. Foxwoods, the wonder of it all. Visit foxwoods.com now. Ladislav Schmid back in his own zone and back on the ice after he was shaken up on the last shift. He's able to wind it into the Rangers zone with 1 minute remaining here in the third, and the Rangers on top, 4-1. Jared Stoll off the boards. Calmly enough that it doesn't reach the goal line, so play continues. Rangers have the 4th line on the ice. They had a good game tonight. Here's Dominic Moore toward the net, stopped by Ordio. Emerson Edom with his first point as a Ranger. As Keith Yandel carries it into the zone, puts it toward net, that one wide with 25 seconds remaining. And the fans here at Madison Square Garden beginning to salute their hometown team. The Rangers will improve to 6-2-2 on the season, and a real good follow-up performance in the second and third periods, coming off of last night's intense shootout loss to the Philadelphia Flyers. Final seconds here at the Garden, and that is it. The Rangers off the bench to salute their winning goaltender, Antti Raanta, who made 22 saves, gave up the Calgary Flames goal on the first shot he faced all game, stopped all 22 after that. And his record, his remarkable record at home, Joe, in his career, improves to 16-0-3.
Yeah, he was really solid, John. The first goal, he had absolutely no chance to stop that. And this was a really good win for the Rangers. I mean, it was a tough, one of those games as just a tough game to win. After what they went through last night, Calgary did not play last night. They were here waiting for the Rangers. The Rangers found a way to get through that first period, keep it close, and then they slowly got better as the game went on. And in the third period, they played their best hockey. They defended well by not giving Calgary many scoring opportunities. And Oct.25, boy, when your backup goaltender can step in and win games for you, that's a huge plus for a team.
So the Rangers salute the crowd. After a 4-1 win over the Flames, Oscar Lindberg got the Rangers on the board late in the second period. After Yuri Hudler scored within the first 4 minutes of the first period, then Dan Girardi scored soon after that. Rangers took the lead to the third, and then Klein and Brassard scored to milk the game away. Our 3 stars of the game brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers on the web at mbusa.com. You mentioned Dan Girardi with his 200th career NHL point. He's your 3rd star of the game.
Congratulations to Dan. He's been working hard to try and get his game back to a level that he expects, and scored a really important goal in this one, goal number 2.
From the Rangers with the goal tonight, number 24.
Second star is Oscar Lindberg, and what an important goal it was. Not a lot of energy in the building at the time. Flames were winning 1-0, and Lindberg scores.
That line continues to play well. I think again tonight they were the best line for the Rangers.
First star from the Rangers.
And the first star is the backup goaltender, who's now 2-0 on home ice, 2-0 as a New York Ranger, and has allowed 1 goal in 2 games. Oct.25.
Just, you know, you describe his play, I think, John, is just solid. Didn't make any mistakes. As I mentioned before, the goal he allowed, he didn't have a chance on that one. And then he made the saves the Rangers needed until they were able to get their game together. And then once they got playing, his workload in the third period was easy.
And it was the breakaway save on Michael Backlund that was really the important one.
Yeah,
kept it at 1-0. So he heads with that omnipresent smile to a victorious Ranger dressing room. Plenty more to come from Madison Square Garden. We're back in a moment. Rangers win it 4-1.